Well, when you look at it, USA remains the number one obese nation in the world. Of course, that's because we're running on a theory that being overweight and obese, 35 pounds over your optimal weight for your height, means that you're eating too much and you don't exercise enough. Of course, well, we've followed that theory for 125 years, and what it get us, we're the number one obese nation in the world. It turns out that being overweight and obese has nothing to do with how much you eat or how much exercise you do or don't do. It turns out that it's a deficiency of a certain class of nutrients, and if you're deficient in any one of the nutrients in this class of nutrients, you will gain some weight. Now, if you're deficient in any one of three particular ones, you will be the 400-pound, 600-pound, 800-pound, 1,200-pound person. So we've been working on this for over 40 years, and I'm here to tell you through billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of research, we know exactly the causes of obesity and being overweight. It has nothing to do with lack of exercise or eating too much. We've been doing that, and what do we get for it? We're the number one obese nation in the world. So I want you to get a hold of the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And, of course, we have it in Spanish and English. With the CD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, we have it in 9 different languages. And the interesting thing about it, we point out very clearly, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, book, CD, DVD, that once a country goes from a third world country to a first world nation to an industrialized nation, they become obese and get diabetes. So diabetes and obesity run together, not because obesity causes diabetes, but because they're both nutritional deficiencies. And in the natural world, nobody is deficient in just one nutrient. In an experimental situation with laboratory animals, you can be deficient in one nutrient. And you can set up the experiment that way. But out in the real world, when you're deficient in one, the odds are you're deficient in 5 or 8 or 10 or 12 or 20. And so it's not unusual to see things going on at the same time, like obesity and type 2 diabetes. All right, so I want you to get a hold of that book, the CD, the DVD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Get a hold of the book, Hell's Kitchen. That whole book, the subtitle is The Cause, Prevention, and Cure of Obesity. It also discusses type 2 diabetes and the metabolic syndrome. And Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, which talks about this from a physiological aspect and the need for these nutrients and which one, when you're deficient, it does what, and when you have it, what it does, and so on. Once you read these 3 books and the CDs and DVDs, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Hell's Kitchen, and Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, you will know everything there is to know about obesity and type 2 diabetes, and you will be able to, yep, you got it, make it a lot better or get rid of it. It just depends on how much you want. If you want to get rid of it, you can get rid of it. These are very, very simple diseases. And, of course, the reason why we're at where we're at, the medical system has overreached. When somebody said, oh, exercise is good, that's the reason why we're not losing weight. That's the reason why we're gaining weight. We don't exercise enough anymore because we used to be farmers, and now everybody sits around and works on a typewriter or librarians. That's all nonsense because we have people who do all kinds of work, physical work, and they can certainly be obese because it's a nutritional deficiency. And people say, well, I'm on this diet. I can lose some weight, but as soon as I start eating again, I gain the weight all back. Well, that's because you haven't addressed nutritional deficiency. Well, to make things even better, we've come up to make it easy for you. We have a shake and a food bar, a meal replacer bar, called the Keto and Caramel Bar. A food replacement are the Keto Caramel Shake. Okay? And these are extremely low carb, almost no carb, not quite no, but almost no carb, and high protein meals as a shake or a bar. And I like to throw a couple of eggs in the shake, make it with water, and you will, along with the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids, begin to lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. A half a pound to 2 pounds a day. This will never fail as long as you're absorbing. So what we say is, look, part of the deal is you have to be able to assure you're going to maximize your absorption of these nutrients. And so you have to get on a gluten-free diet. No wheat, no barley, rye, and oats. There is no such thing as a gluten-free oats, although people will try and tell you that because gluten in oats is called gliadin, but it's still oats. Gluten, it's the oats form of gluten. So no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, and keep away from the sugar as much as you can, including natural sugar. Stay away from the juices and the fruit. You get everything you need from fruit and juice from vegetables without the sugar and the extra calories. Well, would you look at that? So, again, the books, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, the CD, the DVD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Hell's Kitchen. The subtitle is The Cause, Prevention, and Cure of Obesity. It also discusses type 2 diabetes and the metabolic syndrome. And then don't forget Rare Earths Forbidden Cures. If you do have type 2 diabetes, or even type 1 diabetes, but particularly type 2 diabetes, you want to throw in the secret sauce for type 2 diabetes, and you will begin to have a drop in your blood sugar that'll speed up your weight loss. And in the farm, we like the Healthy Weight Loss Program. It's designed to support healthy weight loss. And one of the things it has in the Healthy Weight Loss Pack, of course, is what we call the ASAP. It's an acronym for as slim as possible, as soon as possible. You put a dropper full of this liquid under your tongue, 30 minutes before each meal. If you need to lose, say, 100 pounds or less, I'd put a dropper full under your tongue 30 minutes before each meal. Let it absorb through your oral tissues. It won't hurt you if you swallow it, but you won't get the maximum benefit. And after a week or so, you're going to begin to lose a half pound, 2 pounds a day. And, of course, the magic is as long as you stay on your 90 cents of nutrients, because next year, 20 years from now, there still won't be any of these nutrients in the soil. You must supplement them. Contact your Youngevity associate and ask for Dead Doctors Don't Lie, the book, the DVD, the CD, Hell's Kitchen, the book, and Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, the book. And you will be amazed at yourself. You will just love yourself because you're going to lose the weight and keep it off. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us?
I thought we'd talk a bit about hospital costs, as I have a Fox News story here that's headlined, Hospitals Jack Up Costs Strategically Study Finds, and this study came from Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, and they say that this was all published in the journal Health Affairs. Said, imagine getting a bill for an ordinary dinner and noticing in tiny print that the restaurant charged you $40 for coffee. Turns out hospitals inflate specific prices all the time in ways that aren't transparent to the patient, according to this new study. And researchers found that many hospitals charge more than 20 times the cost of some services, particularly for certain services like CT scans and anesthesiology. Researchers said the pattern of charging suggests that hospitals strategically look for serendipitous ways to boost revenue. And according to the lead author here, G. Bai of Johns Hopkins Carey Business School, says hospitals apparently mark up higher in departments with more complex services because it is more difficult for patients to compare prices in these departments. Say other high-tech services with exorbitant markups include MRI, electrocardiology, electroencephalopathy, and they say services that had fees that were more in line with their actual costs to hospitals include old-school physical therapy and nursing. Markups occurred in all types of hospitals, both private and nonprofit, yet hospitals with the highest markups on average tended to be for-profit hospitals with a strong power within their markets because they either because of their system affiliations or their dominance in regional markets. In other words, those hospitals that can mark up prices do mark up prices, and pricing can have some serious consequences for the patient. For example, hospitals whose costs for a CT scan run around $100 may charge the patient $2,850, and for a CT scan,
it's about $2,850.
That's exactly right. Yeah, so as I say, a study based in 2013 Medicare and other data from nearly 2,500 hospitals. Researchers compared hospitals' overall charge to cost ratio, which is the ratio of what the hospital charged compared to what the hospital's actual medical expense was. And they say average hospital with more than 50 beds had an overcharge cost to ratio of 4.32. In other words, for everything that cost the hospital $1, they were charging $4.32. They say the highest was the CT department. Average ratio was 28.5. So for every dollar they spent for the CT scan, they charged the patient $28.50. Man, that's like highway robbery.
Well, it is. And, of course, you have to appreciate, Doug, that 85% of all personal bankruptcies in America are due to medical costs. Okay, 85% of all personal bankruptcies are due to medical costs. And so the hospitals have taken over the place of the mafia, okay? They are extorting money from people just because that's what they need. They don't want to work. They just want to get the money. And this is such a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And this is why we want people to contact their Youngevity associate and say, look, we need to kind of look at our options. We're tired of just believing what the doctor says and doing what they do. I mean, we've been going to the same doctor for 25 years for arthritis, and now we're at the point they want to do double knee and double hip replacement, and that we've been pain-free for 20-something years, but now suddenly we can't even bend our knees or squat down because of our hips. And that's we've been following them, and we thought we were doing good. But then it turns out that the disease is getting worse and worse and worse, even though they were killing the pain. And so we want to look at our options. So, again, I would have people contact your Youngevity associate, ask for the books Dead Doctors Don't Lie, get the book Immortality, get the book Rarest Men Cures, and learn how to add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life and avoid going to the doctor. Learn how to take care of yourself and your own physicals. Do a $2,500 physical the doctor will do in your office for $4.50. We'll show you how to do that. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to California. And Rachel, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Rachel, you're on the air.
Yes. I'm calling about, I have IBS and Crohn disease, and I have also diabetes.
I'm sorry, wait a minute. You said IBS and what disease?
I have diabetes, and I have IBS and Crohn.
Oh, Crohn's, okay.
Symptom that I have uncontrollable diarrhea, and sometimes I'm constipated.
Okay, and how much do you weigh?
129.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5 feet.
5 feet even?
Correct, and I've lost a lot of weight since this happened.
Yeah. And how long, do you have any skin problems, any eczema or dermatitis or a history of asthma?
No.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Do any of them have asthma or skin problems, eczema, dermatitis, or do they have Crohn's disease or diabetes?
Well, I have one that has asthma, but it's my grandson. My children are all grown.
Okay, now, your grandson, is this from a daughter or a son?
It's from a daughter.
Okay. All right. Char, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. What is Rachel's problem, and what has she passed on through her daughter to her grandbaby?
She's got a gluten intolerance. There's typical, it's classic.
Classic, exactly right. Now, Rachel, does diabetes, is it adult onset type 2, type 1 diabetes, or what?
Type 2.
Okay. So what would you do for this gal here, Charmaine?
Well, first of all, a gluten-free diet. Second of all, I would get her on a healthy blood sugar pack. And for the immediate problem, until she can straighten up her diet, she could take the Pepto-Bismol tablets.
Well, there you go, to help with the diarrhea.
Yep.
Yeah, and so what I would do is exactly as Char says, you got to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten. You need to share this with your entire family, all your kids. And, of course, your daughters are old enough to have their own children, so that you have to have a family meeting once a week. Do it on a phone conference call. And then make sure you're getting you need to have 3 sweeties twice a day. Check your fasting blood sugar before you medicate yourself. And do what your doctor says. Drop your amount of pills or insulin as your blood sugar goes down. Then call us every couple of weeks, and we'll walk you through this. You're going to be a new woman here, Rachel, and you'll lose the weight. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to New Zealand. And Bev, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Bev, you're on the air. Hello, Bev, you're on the air. Uh-oh.
Should have her now. Bev, you're on the air with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Good morning.
Yes, okay. How can we help you?
I wonder if you could help my nephew. He's 20 years of age, and he was born with a congenital cataract in his right eye. At age 8 years of age, the doctors gave him a new cornea, but he has still has no recognised sight in his eye, and he's only able to see a teeny weeny bit if he moves his head a lot.
Yeah. Okay, well, here's the deal. If he was born with this cataract 20 years ago, the odds are it's not going to be fixed with a nutritional program, okay? Has he considered having surgery done to replace that with an artificial lens?
No, not really, not anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, regardless, he still needs. Do you have any idea how much he weighs?
Yes, he weighs 71 kilos.
Okay, so about 160 pounds. Okay. And so, what I would do is just his best possibility here. What kind of diet would you put Bev's nephew on, Charmaine, to start the best process here?
Well, he needs to get a gluten-free diet and no fried foods for sure. And
gluten-free diet, no fried foods, and what else?
And no oils of any kind, no salad
exactly.
oils,
Get rid of all the free radicals, all the inflammatory stuff. So, as Char said, no fried foods, no processed meats with nitrates, nitrites, no oils, and absolutely no gluten, wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And then what would you give this guy? How much does your nephew weigh, you think, Bev? Oh, you told me. Okay, so 160 pounds. Okay, 160 pounds. I have that here. What would you give a 160-pound person who has a history of chronic eye problems?
I'd give him the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, but I would add the Occutive also to it.
Okay, sure, perfect. And so Char's exactly right. He needs 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month because the eye is the brain is the eye. And so he needs 1 full serving of each of the products in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for breakfast and dinner. Also, the Occutive is specifically designed to support eye health. And so I'd have him take 3 of those twice. They'd be 2 bottles a month, I think. No, Occutive it's 30 in a bottle, so he'd need 2 or 3 or 4 bottles a day, regardless. There's cost involved here. And so he would want to measure what he can afford. Certainly don't run his wallet up. But I can't give a lot of hope that suddenly now his cataracts are going to go away. I have no earthly idea if he's going to see benefit. And so if he's willing to try, that's what I would recommend. And can't hurt him, and only help him as far as all his tissues. But if he decides to do this, keep in touch and let me know how his cataracts do. But if he's born with them, the likelihood of getting any really serious benefit, I'd be amazed. And we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages.
Let's head to Dallas, Texas, and Sharon, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Sharon, you're on the air.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Wallach. I just want to give you appreciation because since I've been taking longevity products, I haven't had any kind of disease diagnosis. But recently, I guess I had a head injury when I was 14, and I banged my ear on a door thing. Now it's 45 years later, and I have an acoustic neuroma on my ear canal. And I think, it's about 3 centimeters. The doctors at UT Southwestern want to do a big operation.
Of course they do. Now, let me ask you a question here before we go on. How is this manifesting itself symptom-wise?
Okay, I haven't had many symptoms. It's been growing for 45 years. But I had started having tinnitus in 97, about 20 years ago. And then I had some headaches, mysterious headaches, in 2009 and then in 2012. Now, what happened is I had a brain bleed or something snapped. I think the tumor, detached from the blood supply. I twisted my neck or something, and then I got all sorts of symptoms.
Okay, let me ask you. We're starting to wander all over the place here. We only have a little bit of time, so let me ask you a couple of pertinent questions. This tinnitus. Let's see here. Did they tell you that this is caused by this neuroma?
Yeah, the neuroma I have all the symptoms of a classic neuroma.
Okay, stop. Okay, stop. I just answer the question. Okay, then do you have any dental problems, any receding gums or gingivitis, or have you lost any teeth, anything like that?
No.
Okay. Do your knees pop and crack when you go up steps or squat down?
No.
Okay. Do you have any diabetes?
No.
Any high blood pressure?
No, remember I said I've been taking the longevity for quite a couple of years, so I have all the nutrients.
Okay, did you have any problems and they resolved themselves, or just never got them?
Yeah, the only problems I have now is because this tumor I need to get another MRI.
Okay, stop. You're telling me a long story here, but you're not answering the questions. So what I'm going to do is kind of take over here. I want you to listen now. Shar, what causes ringing in the ears? What causes tinnitus, ringing in the ears?
Extreme osteoporosis.
Of what part of the body? Your left foot?
No. When you have osteoporosis, your parathyroid gland has to rob calcium out of your bones to get calcium so you'll live in your blood.
Okay, so now you're doing the same thing. I'm asking you specifically, when you have tinnitus, what part of your anatomy has osteoporosis?
Your skull, by your ear.
Well, okay, duh. Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, so almost always here, Sharon, when you have tinnitus, it means the auditory branch of the eighth cranial nerve is being impinged upon. The eighth cranial nerve, like 11 other cranial nerves on both sides, are formed in the brain, come through canals or tunnels in the skull, and do their thing on the outside. In the case of the auditory nerve, the eighth cranial nerve, it comes out and comes back in and so forth. It's kind of a windy trail. And what happens is the bone matrix, which is kind of a rebar of the bones, begins to fill up those canals and squeezes the auditory branch of that eighth cranial nerve, which results in gradual deafness. It can cause not only tinnitus or ringing in the ear, but also vertigo. Have you ever had any vertigo, Sharon?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever felt nausea, like motion sickness?
Yes, I had a little.
Okay. So, Shar, first of all, how much do you weigh here, Sharon?
About 150.
Okay, 150. Okay. Charmaine, well, I guarantee from all her symptoms, she's gotten squeezing of the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve, which causes the ataxia and the nausea and the things like motion sickness, plus the auditory branch of the eighth cranial nerve, which is causing the tinnitus or ringing in the ear. So, what would you give a 150-pound person with osteoporosis of the skull?
2 healthy bone and joint packs, and then add some extra calcium too.
Okay. And what would you stick in her ear?
I'll put CM cream in her ear.
Very good. Okay, so 150 pounds, Charmaine is perfectly correct here. She gets an A+ here, Sharon. We want you to take the 2 healthy bone and joint packs. Okay, this is for all musculoskeletal stuff, including the skull. And this is going to support and promote maintenance and repair of all your bones in your body and tendons and ligaments and so forth. And you're going to get a jar of CM cream with each of those healthy bone and joint packs. Take a Q-tip and when you wake up in the morning, put a Q-tip of the CM cream down in each ear. I'd say a half a teaspoon, and like you're trying to get wax out of your ear. And then, of course, also you can use the CM cream behind your ear. Take a fingerful behind your ear. And again, as Charmaine says, you want 2 healthy bone and joint packs per month. Take a full dose of everything twice a day. That'll allow you to have 15 glucogel a day, 5 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And call us in 2 weeks, and 4 weeks, and 6 weeks. And I would postpone that operation. It's not a life-threatening thing. It's not something that can't be done 6 months from now. And so I would go ahead and postpone the surgery and do these sort of nutritional support things and see if your body wants to heal itself, because your body does want to heal itself. And when you start, and as Char said, too, I would get an extra bottle of calcium. You have 1 bottle of our liquid minerals and calcium with each of the healthy bone and joint packs. But Char is correct. I'd go ahead, since you have so many symptoms, I'd go ahead and get an extra bottle of the osteo, so you can take an ounce 3 times a day, ounce of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And everything else in the healthy bone and joint pack, I would take a dose of breakfast and dinner. And, stay away from all the bad stuff, the fried foods, the processed meats, the oils, the gluten, and the carbonated drinks. Get rid of all the inflammatory stuff and anything that will reduce the efficiency of absorption. And call us in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks. And we see and hear of, just remarkable results. People get results you can't believe, and I don't want to say those things now, because I want you to call me in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks, and you tell us what's going on, because you can be one of our poster girls with all this stuff. Okay, Doug, let's go to another caller. Oops, well, that takes care of that. Well, stick with us, folks. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Longevity and the 90 for Life Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Chicago, Illinois. And Dave, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Dave, you're on the air.
Yes, doctor. Thank you for taking my call. And I have a lady, sir, that is 20 years old, 140 pounds, 5 foot and 1 inch. And she just found out she's pregnant. And the problem is that she's got some blood clots, sir. They want to give her some medicine, some shots of some kind. What can we give her, sir?
So, does she have blood clots in her legs, her brain? I mean, where has she got her blood clots?
I think it's in the legs, sir.
Okay. And did she get this after she became pregnant?
That's what she said, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, blood clots are caused by a deficiency of omega-3 essential fatty acids. Okay. And do you know if she had been on birth control pills before she got pregnant?
She didn't say that, sir. No, I didn't ask you.
All right. Okay. And so was she taking prenatal vitamins, do you know, before she got pregnant?
No.
No, you don't know, or no, she did not?
No, she did not.
Okay. Yeah, this is very typical. Most women do not take vitamins and minerals until they miss 2 or 3 periods. And, of course, the baby can be damaged as well as having these sorts of things, such as blood clots here and there and hemorrhaging and all kinds of weird stuff, because these are all nutritional deficiency things. And, you know, we just always hope and pray in these situations that the baby's okay, because even the embryo can get a blood clot and suffer a stroke or coronary thrombosis and deep vein thrombosis in an embryo, because they need all 90 essential nutrients too. So I would go ahead and just start her on a very basic program. Even though she's 140 pounds, I would just give her one healthy start pack. Just start at the very basics, one healthy start pack, and give her a half a dose of everything at breakfast and a half a dose of everything at dinner time. And we'll just hope and pray that the baby's okay. That's going to give her the optimal amounts of the EFAs, you know, from a combination of fish oils and plant sources, so that we can reduce the risk of having further blood clots. Blood clots can be very, very dangerous. It can be cause brain damage. You can have a thrombotic stroke where you get a blood clot in the brain and have a stroke and have partial paralysis or permanent injury, even death. Same with coronary thrombosis where you get a blood clot in the coronary artery. Remember, this can happen in the embryo as well as the mama here. And so it's imperative. What foods, Charmaine, would you tell this lady not to eat? What foods would you tell her not to eat?
No fried food, no burnt animal fat, no oils of any kind. And I would get on a gluten-free diet so she can absorb better.
You get an A+, dear. Very, very good. Very proud of you, and exactly right. She's got to protect herself and protect her embryo, and so she's got to get rid of everything that might produce trans fats, heterocyclamines, and acrylamides and inflammation. Char is exactly right. No fried food, no processed meats. That means no deli slices, sandwich meat, sausage, ham, bacon, bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky, corned beef, Spam. Absolutely no oils. That means no microwave popcorn, no theater popcorn, no olive oil, no coconut oil, no margarines, mayonnaise, cooking oils, and no gluten. That includes no oats of any kind. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. Gluten in oats is called gliadin. Even though it has a different name, it's still the same stuff. And our goal here is to maximize absorption of the nutrients she'll be taking with this one healthy start pack. Again, a half a dose for everything at breakfast, half a dose for everything at dinner time. And we just hope and pray that the baby is all right because and did you tell me how many months along or weeks she's into her pregnancy?
2 months, sir. Is niacin plus suggested, sir? Is it okay to...
Yeah, well, you could add. You could add that. I would go ahead and give her a half of a tablet. I'd break a tablet in half, It's time release and non-flush. I would go ahead and give her a half of one of those at breakfast and half of one of those at dinner time. As you know, not only is niacin a great essential nutrient, but also in that niacin plus, the plus part is a nattokinase. Very good thinking there, Dave, which actually can help digest blood clots. Well, thank you so much, Shar. Super job as usual. Thank you, Doug and Sam. Superlative job as usual. A lot of great testimonies today. A lot of great questions. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.